chasing cars, busting crooks, and tailing suspects. The season premiere of Cops. Then a vicious robbery with 6 people shot and suspects on the run help solve the crime in the season premiere of America's Most Wanted. It all starts at 8/7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
This program contains images which may be disturbing to younger or sensitive viewers. Parental discretion is advised.
Welcome back. Right now I'm backstage, and our crew is putting the final touches on a day-long setup for one of the most dramatic record attempts we've ever had on this program. Hoping to do something no one has ever done before, from the French territory of Reunion Island off of South Africa, please welcome Andy Lasos. Sir? Using this tank, Andy's going to try to better a world record he already owns. The endurance mark for holding his breath underwater. Andy, how long were you able to hold your breath on that day in 1996?
7 minutes, 35 seconds.
You've actually lost consciousness doing this, have you not?
Yes, about 5 or 6 times.
We have some home video of you surfacing from one of those dives. It's clear you are in considerable distress.
Yes.
You are 56 years old, Andy. You set this record 4 years ago. Why do you suppose you are able to do this now as a man in your 50s and still do it well?
I've been training a self-consciousness method, which is part of mental and body training. And it's very great experience of 30 years.
So you're saying it's the teaming, in essence, of both the mental and the physical?
Of course, yes, always.
Here to assist in Andy's attempt is Glennon Jinjo from the International Apnea Association, which oversees all underwater breath-holding attempts. Glennon, welcome.
Thank you.
Glennon's going to be aiding the Guinness judges during the record attempt. He'll also be going underwater to communicate with Andy to make sure he is alert. You can begin your preparations, and as you do so, I should point out some of the important details of this event. Andy will be in this 1,500-gallon tank. It is 4.5 feet deep and 6 feet 9 inches long on each side. The water temperature is 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, in order to prepare himself for the event, Andy uses a special yoga technique for meditation. He mentally takes himself through multiple dives, recalling other successful dives. And there's physical benefits as well. Not only does it help him slow his metabolism down, but over the years, it's helped him increase his lung capacity to over 6.1 liters. That's more than a non-smoking male in his 20s. He seems to have completed that stage of his preparation now. The contact lenses you're seeing Andy putting in are specially designed for him. They'll help him to see the clock that'll be located outside of the tank, as well as protect his eyes, of course, from overexposure to the chlorinated water. It's interesting to note that during the beginning stages of this attempt, Andy will actually have his eyes closed. In fact, Andy doesn't anticipate opening his eyes for the first 4 minutes of the dive. Andy looks amazingly calm for what he's about to attempt. Those are actually earplugs he's inserting into his nose. He's finished his final preparation. All that remains for Andy to put on is his weight belt. I just want to remind the audience that clearly this kind of activity is extremely dangerous and could cause brain damage or drowning. For those reasons, we have paramedics on hand as well as a doctor. Dr. Craig Millhouse is here to monitor this attempt. Dr. Millhouse, what signs of distress will you be looking for from Andy?
Well, you'll be looking at his facial expressions, his eyes, the color of his lips, his carotid artery pulsations, body movements, muscle contractions.
So you actually have a lot to keep track of and sort of trust your instincts on the outside looking in.
You have a lot to look at.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The cold towel you see Andy applying to his face helps him slow his metabolism even a bit more. A man who has spent so much of his life near the water and in the water will now attempt to break his own Guinness World Record of 7 minutes and 35 seconds submerged in that water. And now it's begun. There it is. Glennon is putting the last weight on Andy's back, helping him sink all the way to the bottom of the tank. He thinks peaceful thoughts. He thinks pleasant thoughts. And remember, Andy plans on keeping his eyes closed for the first 4 minutes of this Guinness record-setting attempt. That is a shot you are seeing from our camera, which is positioned under the tank. That is how we were able to look up at his face. This is a 56-year-old man who is coming up on 1 minute under the water, attempting to beat his personal best in a Guinness record that is standing, that he set, of 7 minutes and 35 seconds. At 1 minute and 15 seconds, you're beginning to realize you're already seeing something extraordinary. Andy is more than 2.5 minutes into his attempt. He's trying to break his existing world record and exercising complete mind and body control. And while this may look like a scene from a science fiction movie, I can assure you it is totally real. Andy has been holding his breath now for close to 3 minutes. You see Glennon tapping Andy's shoulder 3 times to let him know he's been down for 3 minutes now. Andy acknowledges. We're coming up on the 4-minute mark in this Guinness record-setting attempt. This is extraordinary. And while it appears calm and peaceful in Andy's world, believe me, there is a lot of tension on the Guinness stage. All of the support teams stand ready in case anything should go wrong. His eyes are fluttering a bit more rapidly. We're looking for any sort of subtle indicator of movement. You can see him move his arms slightly, and now there you see his eyes are open. And now Glennon is passing Andy a little child's toy that was placed in the pool for a specific purpose. These are toys that are in the tank, all part of the process of distracting his mind such that he will not reflexively breathe. Remember, he is holding his breath for what is approaching. It's now 5 minutes in the tank. He gives us the okay sign. This is the fight phase. This is the most difficult part, as you might imagine. No pleasant thoughts will get you through this phase. You need to distract your mind. Your body is struggling to let you know it needs to breathe. 5 minutes and 30 seconds underwater without any oxygen. That's a simple child toy that he's playing with, but it's designed to distract him just enough. He's taking off the last weight on his shoulders, and he is coming up on 6 minutes. He is waving. Audience members are waving back to him. He is fighting it now. He's saying he's fighting it mentally. 6 minutes, 6 minutes. How do you feel?
Fine, and you?
Although not a Guinness record, was an amazing accomplishment. I think we didn't see a failure here tonight. Instead, we saw an amazing demonstration of tremendous physical and mental discipline. The Guinness judges confirm 6 minutes and 2 seconds under the water. Andy Lusos in the water for 6 minutes and 2 seconds. Guinness Prime Time will be right back. Amazing, Bob. Amazing.
Coming up, can Tomas Martin put his best face on? Or will Gary Turner defend his record for the furthest skin stretched from the body?